You are listening to Single Smart Female.
This is us letting it all hang out about your love life, examining Steph's dating experiences, and answering your hot topic dating questions. Just you, Steph, and me. No topic is off limits and no filters involved. This is Jen.
And I'm Steph. If you have a question about your love life that you would like us to answer, you can submit your question at singlesmartfemale.com.
Hello, Single Smart Female, and welcome to show 36. I am your host, Jen, joined by my lovely co-host, who's looking at me with a really strange smile on her face right now, but I'm kind of liking it. Her name is Steph. Hi, Steph.
Hi.
Steph, would you do the honor of reading our question for today?
Absolutely. Our question comes from 33-year-old in Pittsburgh. We'll call her
Miss Sittin' Pretty in Pittsburgh.
And Miss Sittin' Pretty writes, I am a recent convert to your concept of mantourage dating.
Woohoo!
Love the podcast.
Even better.
And am currently working on finding men worthy of my rotation.
That's my girl.
Coincidentally, I decided to embrace the idea right as I met someone who I'm now developing feelings for.
And the plot thickens. Dun, dun, dun.
He's a great guy. We go on really fun dates, have similar worldviews, and the sex is really, really good.
Bow chicka wow wow.
I also appreciate that he's been very straightforward with me about where he's at. He basically offered to be exclusive if that's what I wanted, but said that he wasn't actually looking for a relationship when we met. Because he hasn't been out of his last serious relationship for very long, and I've been with enough guys who offered exclusivity to keep me around rather than because they really wanted it, to know that investing there is unwise. I decided to move forward with my plans to mantourage date while moving forward with him physically and hopefully emotionally. He is, of course, free to do as he likes with other women as well. My issue is that because of the uncertainty in the relationship, will it grow or am I just the person who transitions him to being ready for his next relationship? I'm having a hard time opening up emotionally, even though it seems like he would like that from me. It's something I struggle with in general, and the fact that I'm not convinced he'll ever be in a place to give me what I'm looking for is making it worse. I feel like I'm stuck in this weird space where if I want to grow the relationship, I need to take the chance and be emotionally vulnerable. But if I force myself to do that, I'm doing it with a man who I feel there is a very good chance will reciprocate and enjoy it, but ultimately tap out anyway. The end result is that I'm nervous to see him and have a hard time just relaxing and enjoying his company. And I think he's noticing that. I know that building my mantourage and having more fellas to think about is probably the best solution. I'm doing my level best in that area, but haven't been meeting people I'm interested in more than a couple dates with. I do have a couple of male friends who fall into the potential romance category, but because we are friends and I do know that they've had feelings for me in the past, I'm hesitant to give them the green light for dating and probably end up hurting them. Help, please. Is it better to just opt out of this relationship I think is pretty likely not to work out the way I'd like and spare myself the heartache, or should I give it time? Are the rules for mantourage dating different when the man is telling you that he's not in the right place for a relationship and that he doesn't mind sharing versus leaving it vague? And how do you open up emotionally with people without investing too much? Some background information on me. I've been single the majority of my life. 1 year in a serious relationship, meaning I was emotionally invested, out of 33 on the planet. That relationship ended 2.5 years ago and was a train wreck in every possible way. I basically managed to pick someone who treated me poorly, and instead of wondering what was wrong with him for doing it, ended up wondering what I had done to deserve it. It took me a full 2 years to start enjoying men's company again as friends, and the man in question is the first one whom I've had a romantic feelings for. So, ladies, as some of you may know, when you submit your question, we ask a few clarifying questions. Something I would like to share is her answer to, how do you usually meet the men you date? Online, my chronic case of resting bitch face keeps men at bay.
I'm cracking up laughing because I have a chronic case of resting bitch face. It is pretty amusing. So, and this isn't for just Miss Sitting Pretty in Pittsburgh, but I want you ladies to know that we love your questions and we want you to keep submitting them. And if you are going to submit us a long question, such as the one from Miss Sitting Pretty, make sure you have funny components to it, because that's the only way that we can really engage with it and give you the information that you really need, because otherwise it becomes very tedious to have to go through submission after submission, and we want yours to stand out so that we can pick it for the show like we did for Miss Sitting Pretty. Also, for those of you that are sending us very short submissions, make sure you have enough meat to it so that we can actually give you some depth to answer your question as well. So meet us in the middle on that, okay? And now, with that said, there's quite a bit going on here for you, Miss Sitting Pretty in Pittsburgh. I can't get that out now. Okay.
Sally sells seashells down by the
Oh my goodness, yes. I can't do it. Just can't do it. And I want to address some very, very important key points. So obviously you have a background of not having great relationships and being treated poorly by men. And I don't want to fault you for that, but I will say, I know you mentioned feeling, was it guilty, she said? I can't remember. Feeling guilty.
She spent most of the time kind of wondering what she did to deserve this versus wondering what.
Okay. We don't ever deserve bad treatment, but sometimes we do contribute to it. So learning to unravel those patterns will help you later in life. Every romantic experience we have, even some of the more crappy ones, and I'm not going to go, I don't want anybody writing me and telling me, but what about this, Jen, and blah, 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 about really, really horrific situations. I'm not talking about that. But I'm talking about, your generic bad stuff. That all contributes to our romantic history and our understanding and our learning and our experience and as we grow as women. So they're not bad things necessarily. In fact, I wouldn't be talking to you right now if I hadn't had a ton of shitty ass love life experiences. If I hadn't watched my parents have a very tumultuous, dangerous relationship, and it's contributed to who I am significantly. And I won't change any of that now because it helps me help you. And your past experiences are what you're going to build off of and, increase having great experiences in the future. With that said, it's very, very obvious to me that you are basing your interactions with Mr. Plot Thickens, we'll call him that, based on your past experiences. And you're doing something that I call forecasting for men, okay? You're forecasting how this relationship is going to turn out because you're scared. And you're also basically telling a man how he feels about you. And if you tell him often enough, he's going to eventually feel that way. So I want you to stop that right this second. The beauty in life, we cannot forecast what is definitely going to happen. Even if you go to a psychic, you have to remember you have input on life. So she might tell you something is going to happen and nothing similar happens. Or maybe it happens in a very abstract way. And maybe it does happen. But it doesn't mean you don't have input. You do. You have lots of input in your life. So one of the things that I have found, and when I went into my Mantourage dating experience, one of the most beneficial things I found was to stop forecasting, stop telling men how they feel about me, and stop operating through a fear lens and really focus on what's happening right now. Because when you learn to live in this moment today romantically and enjoy the rest of your Mantourage, by the way, you need to increase the talent in your Mantourage very, here soon as well, so that you can manage all of these emotions around this. But as you focus on life right now, enjoying right now, breathing into right now, your romantic courage muscle is going to bloom and it's going to get very, very strong, and you're going to be able to draw in better and better experiences. Now, that doesn't mean you're not going to fall and skin your knees. We all do. it actually makes life even better because you couldn't enjoy the really good times if you didn't have some crappy times to understand how good the good times truly are. But you're operating through a fear lens, and that fear lens is going to keep fucking up your love life if you don't acknowledge it exists. Now, I'm not going to say you're going to be able to remove that fear lens completely, but you need to acknowledge that's the perception that you're operating for in reference to this man. Now, I don't give a shit if he said, I wasn't really looking for a relationship. You're telling me you guys are having a great time together. Stay in that. There is no reason why you should dismiss this man from your mantourage because you're afraid it's not going to end well. If I had done that, oh my God, me and my husband would not be together right now. He gave me every sign, much more so than Mr. Plot Thickens is giving you of why I shouldn't date him. I didn't hear from him sometimes for 5 weeks at a time. He would say random things at times. I remember one time he canceled a date on me and I asked him what was going on, and he was feeling apparently kind of sensitive about things and told me this is why I don't do serious relationships. I was like, look, motherfucker, I didn't ask you for a serious relationship. And I didn't use motherfucker, but I did.
That was the tone.
Yeah, that was the tone.
Was
you heard the tone of that. I did tell him specifically, I told him, you know what? I acknowledge that you don't do serious relationships, but as I spend time with you, there is the possibility that my feelings for you are going to grow, and I am not going to walk on eggshells around you. And that is actually what I did say to him. And guess what happened in that moment? He threw me down on the bed because I became so irresistible with my boundaries and how I stood up for myself, but didn't punish him for it, that I was completely 100% mesmerizing to him right in that moment. But I need you to stop telling men what they want. You're not allowed to tell them that. I don't care if their feelings change here and there, but we as women are not allowed to tell men what they want. They get to make that decision for themselves. We need to quit over-analyzing the fuck out of men and their actions and, take them for face value right now until he proves something different. Okay? And at that point, then you can reconsider things if things turn sour. But until then, your only job is to let this man treat you like you deserve to be treated.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. The thing is, and you're mantourage dating right now. So, and then that's why it works. Jen is not saying be in an exclusive relationship with this guy because he offered it to you because he thinks that's what you want. Right now, that's not what works for you. And according to him, right now, a serious relationship is not what he wants. But that shit changes. It changes.
It can be a momentary thing. He can go from, like my husband did, from 1 minute, I don't do serious relationships, to, hey, do you think we could be exclusive? It really can change that quickly, but you don't give it permission to grow if you're going to be pissed off at him already and forecast what's going to happen between the two of you. It very well may happen that way, but why shouldn't you, meanwhile, enjoy the hell out of this and take this as a learning to be an adored woman experience? But it doesn't work. Steph's right. It doesn't work unless you're mantourage dating.
Another thing, it's totally fine. Like, you don't tell him how he feels about you, but it's fine for you to assume that he thinks you're the shit.
Yes, absolutely. 100%.
Just assume that.
You can just assume that because then you'll actually approach him differently and it's good for the both of you. So it's okay to know that he wants you. Of course he wants you.
Duh.
Why wouldn't he want you? That's silly.
Yeah. So do what you're doing, girl. Just, beef up the talent in the mantourage department.
You do you. And as Steph suggests, beef up the talent and no more bullshit that there's not really any other talent out there, because we all know there is. You just need to open up your options.
Open up your options.
I can't think of the word, but yeah, open up your options.
And you know what? I can totally empathize with the situation.
Yes, you can.
Completely.
In fact, we'll talk more about that in the second segment.
This show is brought to you by Irresistibility, help for women with online dating. Are you experiencing inbox crickets or real-life crazies? It's not you, it's your online profile. Let us help you do online dating that leads to real-life love and romance. Go to helpmeonlinedate.com and we will send you the first 2 video chapters of our program for free.
Welcome, single lady, to my favorite segment of the show, updates on Steph's love life. So last time in show 28, Steph left off with updating us on Latin Lover and how things were progressing with him after he had his move. Plus, she surprised me by telling me that she had resumed or tapped her toe into online dating again. I'm curious, Steph, do you have more updates for us?
I have so many more updates.
Okay, hit me. Well,
Okay.
Where would you like to start today?
Oh my goodness.
You want to start
know
with
what?
Latin Lover, or do you want to start with online dating?
I actually think I want to start with online dating.
Okay.
Let's start there.
Okay, well, what's been going on? Tell me, what have you been doing with online dating?
Oh my goodness. So much. Okay, so last time we talked, I had kind of dipped my toe back into Coffee Meets Bagel and started on Bumble. And since then, I have had a few dates with a few different suitors off of both of the apps. And it's been quite interesting. There's one that I met on Coffee Meets Bagel that I hit it off with quite well. And it's been I think we've been on.
Do we have a fun name for him yet?
I don't have a fun name for him yet.
Okay, we'll have to come up with a fun name. Or our ladies out there could email us at info@havehimyourway.com and send us a fun name for him.
Yeah, why don't we do that? Why don't you guys name him for me? So this one, goodness, I think we've been on 3 or 4 dates.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually, our first date went really well. This is how it started. His intro, like his way of saying hello to me was, "What's your favorite Thai food place?" And I said, "I don't have one. Why don't you take me to yours and we can talk about it?"
Nice.
Thank you. I know. I was pretty proud of it. And he jumped on that one. He's like, "Great. How about Sunday?" So it worked out really well.
Mm-hmm.
And the food was really good.
How was the conversation?
The conversation was great. It was really easy, which was nice. We had a lot of fun and a lot of laughs. And the date lasted a lot longer than I anticipated just because we were having such a good time.
Don't you love it when that happens?
I really do. I really, really do.
What were date number 2 and 3 like?
Oh, well, so date number 2, like a lot of our dates, I think, have kind of revolved around food, sharing food, because
You're a foodie, though.
Yeah, I love food. Yeah, yes. And he wanted to show me the best ramen place. And so we went to this ramen place. And what I ordered was very, very rich and kind of gave me a stomach ache.
Uh-oh.
So it was a little awkward for me. And,
It gave you a stomach ache right away?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I don't have a very good poker face.
No, you don't. I'm never taking you to gamble. Never.
Yeah, so he could kind of tell that something was up. But I didn't want to be like, yeah, well, this food that you're sharing with me right now, it's kind of upsetting my stomach. Also, I think I was wearing pretty tight pants. And the truth is that I haven't been shopping in a while, and
so it wasn't helping.
It didn't help.
Oh, stomach bloat and tight pants. Great
Yeah,
combination.
Exactly. Here I am trying to look cute and not like,
Okay, so this is a Jen tip, just so you know. Ladies, wear comfortable clothing you look cute in. I'm not telling you to wear elastic waistbands, but do not make yourself uncomfortable on a date. It's never fun.
It's never fun. It's the worst.
It
was so bad.
The absolute. You can look cute without compromising your, I'm going to say safety, your emotional safety during a date.
God.
Because let's be honest, things start to go downhill when you things are too tight and you're always adjusting and always worried about how you look. And then plus when you get stomach bloat.
Oh my gosh. It was so bad. It was so bad. And then I went to the bathroom and it's like a one stall sort of situation. So then I had to wait a really long time before I could even get in the bathroom. And then I'm like, okay, so here I am making sour face. And then I go to the bathroom and I'm gone for fucking ever. And I'm sure he's like, what is happening in there? Mm-hmm. It was, you know, but whatever, you know what I'm used to, the awkwards. I've managed to make it somehow charming. I don't know how, but I know, but I also wish that, I'll be honest, I want you to not put up with so much. If you're uncomfortable, you know, let him know and let him make it comfortable for you again. There's nothing wrong with that. Well, I did. I was like, let's go somewhere else, somewhere where, because he was, you know, he was like, oh, are you really tired? Or blah, blah. I was like, I'm just not feeling all that great. I said, but I also, you know, I still wanted to be on the date. Like I wasn't feeling great, but that can happen a lot with me. I have some stomach issues in general. So I don't like to cancel my plans because of it, but sometimes I do have to make adjustments. So we went somewhere else where I could kind of relax a little bit, kind of lean on him. And this is not something that I recommend in general, but for me, it worked because I was feeling a little bit uncomfortable and I just wanted to spend time with him. So we went somewhere where he could watch the game and I could just kind of lean back and we just like chatted through like. You're not much of a game watcher, are you? No. Mm-mm. That is actually the only situation. If you're not a sports person, that's the only situation I would recommend. Like if you're in a place that you just wanted his physical company but you didn't want him to necessarily interact with you. That's exactly what it was. Perfect. I didn't want to have to entertain or answer any questions or like be on my game because I didn't feel on my game. And I basically told him like, I'm not really feeling on my game. And he knows that I'm not into sports. I'm like, yeah, I'm not a sports person. I said, but why don't we go somewhere where you can watch the game and I can just kind of lean on you because, you know, I still want to be on this date. And I really did. Like, it wasn't like I was pushing through because I didn't want to be there or just because I wanted to be nice. I had been looking forward to it. That is the perfect setup and scenario, though. I'm very proud of you. Thank you. You handled that really well. Thank you. Yeah, and what's worked out really great with this particular guy is that he travels a lot, and I've also had some traveling in between, so our dates have been pretty far apart. Ooh, somebody went to go see Latin Lover. I did go see Latin Lover, which we will get to later. Okay. But yes, so because we both have been traveling and whatnot, it's been really great because we kind of catch a day or two in between our travels. So it helps me because I'm easing back into the whole like dating, and I really like this guy. And sometimes when you really like somebody, you can like kind of overdo it too quickly. Yes. And I'm also like, even though I really like him, I'm not anywhere near being ready to like really progress and heat things up. Seriously, heat things up. Yes, exactly. Now, I do know something that you showed me. Is this the same guy that you showed me the messages from earlier? No. Oh, okay. This is a different one. No, this is a totally different one. Okay, good. This is the guy I showed you the picture of. All right. I showed you a picture of him. There are a couple things that I noticed. Steph relayed to me earlier that she was getting messages from a guy and they were totally, and I know you ladies out there know what these are, have experienced these before, the hey beautifuls, the how are you doing, the how's it going, the happy Friday, the very generic texting messages that some guys don't know where to go from and do more with. And I don't remember if you told me you were getting a lot of them, but if you are getting a lot of them, you really need to start looking at your profile. Steph also told me that she actually hasn't put a profile up yet. Now, that's probably my fault because I have not written it for her yet. But you are, if you don't have a good profile, you are more likely, you're not going to eliminate them completely with a good profile, but you're more likely to get significantly less of that kind of communication with a guy because he thinks that, you know, you're kind of an easy target per se. I know that sounds really bad, but
He does. He assumes that he doesn't have to work very hard for your attention when you've got nothing in your profile worth elaborating on.
I feel like he's working pretty hard for my attention. Hi, hello.
Okay,
Pay attention
granted,
to me.
I give him points for persistence. I give him 100 for persistence and a 0 for creativity.
Correct. Yeah.
But let's be honest, does he have a chance at all in hell with you?
This point, no, probably not.
No, because
it's kind of like the lack of creativity and effort is a big turnoff for me.
it's huge.
Yeah.
But if you do ever want to give a guy a chance, and this is for our single ladies out there, maybe you did have some chemistry and he just goes on this really not creative tangent, you can use your communication with him, which is something that we work on with you in different courses, whether it be irresistibility or if you join us for the Courage Kit. Your communication with him can give him a place to spring off of and start being more creative. And you can start to see another side of him that maybe you won't see because you haven't given him a lead and he doesn't know exactly what's appropriate, what's not, what's, creatively, what license he has with you. So that's a good way you can change up the communication, and you can hit him with something different when he comes up with a, hey, how are you kind of thing. Hit him with something unexpected and see if he actually does have a creative side to him. A lot of guys are undercover creatives. They just don't have the outlet with women. They're afraid that their creativity might be interpreted incorrectly.
Yes. And this particular, and so like some background on this particular guy, we had been on 2 dates.
Oh, you actually went on a date with him? I didn't realize that.
Yeah, I went on 2 dates with him.
Okay.
And
he is very handsome, by the way.
yes, he's very handsome and he has a nice accent.
Where's he from?
Portugal.
Portugal.
Oh, I think so. Yeah.
Portugal?
Portugal.
Or Brazil? Do you know? You even know?
Portugal. I don't think it's Brazil.
Okay. Well, either way, he'd be speaking Portuguese.
True. I think it's Portugal.
Or maybe Australian, mate.
Yeah. No, definitely not Australian.
That was a joke, by the way. I'm very aware that that's not deemed a language.
So, yeah. So we went on 2 dates. They were nice. They were lovely dates.
Hold on. I need to clarify, though. I love my Australian people, just so you know. I love you, ladies. A lot. Okay, go on.
Yes. So, lovely dates. They were very nice. And then for the 3rd date.
What do you mean lovely? Were they actually nice, or are you just being PC about him?
No, they were nice. They were very nice.
Did they make you wet?
No.
Damn it.
No.
Okay, well.
Yeah.
Then.
I mean, what are you going to do?
There's a lot you can do. Don't tell me that. Don't give me that shit.
Well, the point is that he tried to set up a 3rd date and he was going to cook dinner for me.
Oh, this is that guy.
This is that guy. He was going to cook dinner for me and I was like kind of into it. Yeah, okay. That sounds good. I like the idea of somebody cooking dinner for me. But then I asked him what he was making and he goes, actually, we may have to do takeout.
Ooh.
And I was like, oh, hell no. I am not coming over to your house for fucking takeout. Are you kidding me? Here's takeout. Now, can I have the sex, please? No. And so then I suggested we do something else. And he did not reply.
Ooh.
So he blew me off.
On the 3rd date.
On the 3rd date. Yes, and then he came crawling back because they always do.
And what happened when he crawled back? Or do you want to leave that for next time?
I miss you. Hey, beautiful.
Oh.
How's your Thursday? How's your Friday? Here's a picture of me so you don't forget about me. Here's another picture of me. How's your vacation? I miss you. How are you? I miss you. Happy Thursday.
Okay, moving on to Latin Lover. Okay, I'm glad we gave. Latin Lover story has a tinge of sadness to it.
A bit.
Yeah.
A bit. Yeah. So
last we left off, you were talking about going to see him in another state, in a very populated metropolitan area.
yes. True.
True.
Yes. So I went to visit Latin Lover. Stayed with him for about a week. When we first saw each other, it was lovely. It was actually great. It was great. It was wonderful. Like, there was a little bit of an awkward hug kiss situation, and then it wasn't awkward. You know, like, it got not awkward pretty quickly.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, so that was nice.
It reminds me of the first time Will kissed me. He looked like a fucking brontosaurus coming at me because he came from a weird angle, and he's very tall and has a long torso. But then all of a sudden it was magical.
Yes.
But the slow-mo of it would have looked really, really funny.
Sounds kind of entertaining. I kind of like that. I like the awkward kisses too. They're like, especially too when you acknowledge how awkward it was. That can be really fun.
Have you ever had the awkward sex? One time, Will and I, we actually sat up at the same time and knocked each other out with our foreheads.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, that was so hard, and his erection went away so fast.
Oh my god, the awkward sex. I'm sure there's been some awkward. I know. Oh yes. Oh, I walked into a door once.
No, I got one better. Wait, was it a screen door?
No, it was a TV door. Like, you know those hutches with the where you can close the door to mask the TV?
Although yours might be better. That's really visible.
Oh my god. It was so bad.
What did you turn into it? What did you do?
Fairly new relationship. I think it was the first time. And the
sex was so dizzying.
I don't even think we got started yet. I think I had to like get up and go do something. I was like so concerned about like being all exposed and the blah blah blah, and I think I just wasn't paying attention and just bam right into the door.
No, I've got one for you. The first time he took me home, this was in high school, he took me home to meet his parents. We were at his parents' house, and I wanted to go back out to my car to grab something, and I didn't see the fucking screen door. So all you heard was this really loud boom. I almost knocked myself out. I was very close.
Did you break the door?
No.
Oh my God.
Thank God for small favors, but I was so humiliated I had to leave. I couldn't handle it.
You know what? I have one better, and this is not a sex story. This is just neither was that one necessarily, but this is I have a huge crush on this guy, and the most embarrassing thing just happened. Okay, so I was in high school. No, maybe I was I think I was still in high school. Anyways, huge crush on this guy, and he had all of us over, a bunch of his friends over to watch like the whole series of what's that, Star Wars or something like that. And it was late.
Or Star Trek. Which one?
No, it was Star Wars.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But I didn't get to see any of them because I fell asleep on the couch, on the white couch, all alone.
Oh, no.
So a little bit of background information. At the time, I was contemplating whether or not I wanted to become a teacher, which I realized very quickly that I don't. And I was teaching a class of 7th graders with my cousin, actually. And the 7th grade, one of the kids gave me a piece of chocolate, and I stuck it in my pocket, and then I forgot about it. And then I went over to my crush's house, fell asleep on the white couch under a blanket, woke up, everybody was already, this is like in the basement or whatever. Everybody's already upstairs, like leaving. I get up off the couch, and there is chocolate smeared all over the couch. It looks like I shat myself.
Did you?
No, it was chocolate. I tasted it just to be sure. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just sorry. No, I knew the chocolate that was in my pocket, and I'm like panicking and trying not to cry. I'm just like, oh my God. And so of course I have to tell him because I'm the only one that was on the couch. It was not like I could hide it. Not like anybody else was on that fucking white couch. And so I'm like, okay. And then chocolate melted on the couch. I'll clean it up, blah, blah, blah. He's like, no. Just go. Just go home.
He told you to go home.
Just go home. Just go home. I'll take care of it, whatever.
How old were you?
I don't know. Somewhere between 17 and 18.
Oh.
And so then I'm at work the next day. And I worked in a salon. And so I'm standing there kind of handing tools to the stylist while she's doing this woman's hair, and his dad walks in with a giant Hershey bar, hands it to me, and says, "You're welcome back at the house anytime."
Aww.
It was very sweet, extremely embarrassing. I ended up having to tell the story to the entire salon, because you can't do that. You can't have something like that happen and then have a bunch of women looking at you like, no, you're about to tell me what happened there. And yes.
Okay.
Sorry. Tangents.
Yes. Good tangents, though.
Yeah.
Fun tangents.
Yeah.
Very revealing tangents. Back to awkward kiss that turns good.
Awkward kiss that turns good.
With Latin lover.
Our first couple hours together, he's just really clearly happy to see me. Very touchy-feely, like in a very loving kind of way. So that was nice. It was great. I was very happy. Fast forward to his place. His bedroom. I immediately notice 2 hair ties sitting on his bedside table.
Ouch.
Yeah. Sure shit ain't mine.
And not his either.
No. I can't.
At least not a piece of him you know about.
Yeah, not that I'm aware of. And I'm at this crossroads in my mind because one, we don't owe each other anything. Except for a little bit of, what's the word? I want to say respect. Yeah, respect.
You're not in an exclusive
We're
relationship.
not in an exclusive relationship. I'm dating. He's obviously dating. And that's all fine. But to have it in my face on the bedside fucking table as soon as I get there, excruciating. And I didn't say anything because one, I didn't know what to say. 2, I didn't want to hear some bullshit lie and then think that it was all a bullshit lie. And 3, I can get very emotional. And it can be very hard for me to control those emotions. So I know that if I say something about this, it's...
So you stuffed it, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I stuffed it.
Okay. What happened?
Well, there were some awkward situations throughout the trip. Yeah. Lots of different awkward situations. Also some very good ones, but I really felt like... there was one point where he handed me his phone to read an article or look at something, and some girl Snapchatted him, and then he just kind of made it disappear, because when it's somebody that you don't want to rub in somebody else's face, you make it disappear versus just looking at it if it's just your friend or whatever. And I'm very I notice all those little tiny ticks. I notice all those things. And so...
Most women do.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess
we're really damn good at finding all those.
Yeah. Yeah. And it these little tiny things really got into my head. It
really set the tone for the week.
Yeah. Yep.
And it fucked with your ability to really enjoy the week.
Yeah. Yeah, and I did. I mean, I had a good time. I did some cool things,
but it was just kind of sitting there at the back of your mind the whole time, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna I want you to finish up the story because I think there's some pieces, especially the ending, that need to be told. But I want to say right now, for any men that happen to be listening, do us women a favor. We recognize that you are. If we're not in an exclusive relationship, that you are dating other women as well. And at this point, with everything that we're teaching, we are as well. And again, Steph brought up a good point about being in your face. So do your due diligence about cleaning stuff up after other women. It just always make a point of making a run through your room or through your bathroom, things like that. And for ladies out there, which, the first thing that occurred to me is this woman might very well know that they are not exclusive quite yet, and she is having a sexual relationship with him or whatnot, or maybe I don't know exactly what point are, but it looks like that's where they are at. Don't be a jerk to other women and try to stake your claim by messing with other women, because there's just no point. If he's meant to be with you at some point, he will be with you exclusively. You don't have to go after other women, and you don't have to win by marking territory. Marking territory is truly, truly pointless, because you're just hurting other females, and we're supposed to all be on each other's side. We'll end up with the men that we're supposed to be with. You don't have to buy into male scarcity. You don't have to buy into the thinking that there are no other good men out there and be that desperate about approaching dating. Okay? Especially if you work with me, because then you will realize there are tons of great options and men out there for you. You don't have to tear down other women to do so. Now, I am hoping, really hoping, that this woman did this on accident and that it wasn't an intentional trying to stake her claim kind of thing, because it's just so pointless, and all it does is show how you believe that somehow you're not good enough to find the love of your life.
Funny little side note, I couldn't find my hair tie one day, so I totally used hers. I put it back exactly where I found it. I don't know if anybody noticed, but totally used it. Like,
that's fucking
Thanks,
hilarious.
bitch.
That is hilarious. But I want you to tell everybody how things ended up, and then I'd like to help you do some tweaking, so that'll help other women who, if they ever find themselves in this type of situation, a way I'd like you to handle it so that it doesn't jack your week up completely.
Yeah. Okay, so midway through, probably about midway through, we were having some like awkward tension and kind of frustrating each other, whatever. And I called, like, I just said, hey, we've got this full day of things that we're about to go do. I don't want that to be tainted by this weirdness we got going on right here. I'm not sure if I'm reacting to you or if you're reacting to me, or if it's a little bit of all of it, but can we just clear the air now? And, he basically said, I just think it's a good idea for you to do some things on your own today, which then of course hurt my feelings. But also I asked for that, right? Like, and I kind of started to tear up. He's like, this is why I didn't want to say anything. I'm like, oh, please, it's not to matter if you said anything or not. Like, you could tell that I was already upset. It doesn't matter. Like, this is the point. Like, don't worry about it. I'm going to get emotional. You're going to feel weird about it. And then we're going to be fine. But if I don't say something, then this is going to sit in my head all day, and it's going to be the worst. And, guys, it's okay. When you're spending that much time with a person, it doesn't matter who the person is, you're going to start to either get on each other's nerves or need a little personal time or space. That doesn't negate what you got going on.
It doesn't mean things are horrible.
Yeah. And so, we got through that, and I did go do my own thing that day, and it was probably the best thing for us.
Agreed.
Yeah. Cleared a lot up, and we had some really good times. But then at the very end, on my last night there, we went to a very fancy dinner. Got all dressed up, went to a very fancy dinner, had a nice time, and near the end of dinner, he started texting.
Ouch. Again, ouch.
Yeah. So I'm like, who are you texting? Who do you need to be texting right now? And he made some stupid sly joke about texting work. To me, I just personally think that the person, this lady that he may be seeing now, is from work, only because, he wanted to show me.
Don't worry about that. Just
yeah,
it's irrelevant.
Yeah. Yeah.
We pretty much assessed that she probably is from work and all that good stuff. But yeah, how'd that night end anyways?
So I got really upset, and he got upset with me that I was so upset. And I was like, look, it's you do your thing, I do my thing, and it's not about that. It's about respecting the time that we're spending together. I don't ever pull out my phone and start texting other people while we're together, because it's fucking rude and it hurts other people's feelings. And he was like, I don't know. I apologized. I said it was wrong. You're right. I don't know what else I can do. And I'm like, there isn't anything else you can do. You did it, and now I'm hurt, and now I'm upset, and you just got to fucking deal with it, because that's so fucking shitty. I was so mad, and so, but less, like, even though I was mad. I was really fucking mad, but I was more kind of devastated that he didn't have that kind of respect for me to just chill the fuck out. Go to the fucking bathroom if you have to text back so fucking bad.
I hear you. Okay, let me dive into this, and so you can take a breath for a second, because I know this is, oh gosh, it's fucking hard. It does not feel good. So first off, I am very proud of you, Steph, for speaking your mind. I think if there was an appropriate situation, it was right there. I do think texting, whether a woman's doing it or a man's doing it during a date, is highly inappropriate. I do understand it's a symptom of our addiction to our phones these days, but it's just, you can't do it. If you are, ladies, doing this, I want you to stop. It's just totally, I don't care if you're not really into the guy or not. It's so disrespectful and on either end. And I think it's okay to call each other out on that. We can do it in fun ways. I think Steph, in this case, because of everything was going on, she had the right at this point to say what she needed to say. And I, again, like I said, am very proud of her. On the same page, I want to back up and rewind, because doing what I do and helping women navigate these different types of situations, I think there's some points that we can pull out of this and some things that Steph could have done a little bit differently. Not that she did anything wrong, because she didn't, but things that she could have tweaked that might have made the experience better, since she decided that she still wanted to be there. And it started with showing up and finding those hair ties. Now, there's always a couple options. You can ignore it, which is what Steph chose to do, which is, I'm going to say, very difficult to do over a week. And Steph, she's a strong woman. She's brave. She's amazing in so many ways. But like most women, she's emotionally vulnerable. And what I know about her, she doesn't hold things. She has no poker face, like we talked about, and she doesn't hold things well over long periods of time. She stuffs it for a while, and eventually it's going to come up. It's not going to go away. And in her case, especially because she can't just switch off and put a poker face on. I don't even recommend. The other option is that you can just say something and say, hey, look, I understand that we're not in a relationship right now, but I need you to make sure this kind of stuff is in my face. So moving that step up, like you did in the middle of the week, up to the front of the week. All right. That's one option as well. The option I actually recommend you do, which I know you ended up using the hair ties, which was brilliant as well. You could use the hair ties, totally make them yours. But I suggest you just put them up so that they're not in your face anymore. Hide them, put them somewhere so they're not there. And then, do what you need to do. For instance, we do tools in the Courage Kit and things like that, to whether it's contact somebody, whether you could have contacted me and say, hey, I need to do this with you really quickly. Something has come up and I need to clear it. Second piece, I personally like it for, especially when you're not in a situation yet that you're in a long-term relationship with somebody, keep your vacations with them just on the tad shorter side. So instead of a week, I would have loved to see you do 4 days. Okay, a week's a really long time, but that's a totally personal decision. And it's not something I can tell Steph, you have to do this. But I think it would have been very helpful, because there is a risk of high emotions here in this. It might have been very, very helpful. And then the third thing is to schedule more. A week is a very long time, regardless of how much you like somebody, but to schedule some time apart. They had particularly scheduled all their time together with the exception of one event, right? And I would have liked to see her have some more time, because then you would have been able to process everything that you were going through instead of, festering quite as much.
Yeah.
Did you have something you wanted to say about that?
No.
But that's what I know it means we have to be more proactive versus reactive in love and dating. And sometimes that doesn't feel genuine, but we have to take care of our feelings. We have to be willing to stand up for ourselves and be protective without being shut down about who we are and what we want. Now, granted, those are things I would have done in the get-go, okay? I think Steph handled things very well based on how she was feeling. I still think she handled things very well. I think possibly, and it's not a guarantee, but if she could have interjected some of those things, it might have lessened the stuff that she was going through so that she can enjoy the moment more, because it's not always simple engaging in that type of intimate relationship with somebody when you know that there's a possibility of them seeing someone else and you know that you're seeing other people as well.
Yeah.
Okay, Lover Girl, it's time for the final thought on today's show.
Dating and romance has its ups and downs. Don't dismiss the pleasure just to avoid the pain.
This is Jen.
And this is Steph.
Don't forget to subscribe to our show in iTunes. And if you'd like to submit a question to us, come see us at singlesmartfemale.com. And if you just want to come play around and learn more about Mantourage dating, come see us at havehimyourway.com.
Talk to you next time.